Hey all, how you doing? It is Bostonian Plays Video Games here, back at you once again, coming to you from I guess a self-quarantine. I go out twice a day, and that's to get 2 coffees a day. And unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to put a stop to that today because, what do you mean over-encumbered? I'm not over-encumbered. Um, because I'm sure there's people, already carrying this thing, uh, and exposing everybody. It's the whole thing. It's a very unique experience. I don't think any of us really know how to handle it. I know there's a lot of people, online with all these suggestions and all these opinions and all that stuff, and with these letters from quarantine, I am giving my opinion too. But I'm not. I don't. I can honestly say I don't really know what's going on and necessarily how to deal with the situation outside of just trying to stay as level-headed as I can. So that's where I'm at. I mean, it is interesting to be so restricted, in my activity and stuff like that. And I'm sure everybody's feeling the same way, for the most part. I think the way you begin is like everybody else. It's kind of like, oh, I'll get snacks and I'll get booze and I'll get, weed or whatever you're into. I have no idea. Or, I'll read these books and watch these movies. Um, and if you have kids, I mean, I think it's both, uh, I'm sure it's kind of like shit. They're gonna be out of school for how long? Um, and I'm gonna be home for how long? And it's, I'm sure all those things are going on, and people getting stir crazy already. I think, the weather's getting nicer here in Boston, which means people are gonna want to go out. And obviously that's limited too because most things are not open. So it's about going for a walk and going for a hike or whatever it is you can do. But that's about it. I mean, am I watching the news too much? I mean, probably, because the thing with this is, there's two major events going on simultaneously. I mean, one is the spread of the virus that is it has its own kind of narrative that's being unfolded as far as what measures are being taken, and it seems to be a very slow process as far as what actions are deemed necessary to control it and all that kind of stuff. So you're kind of seeing the slow rollout of oh, this is shut down, that's shut down, and we suggest that you stay in the house, and we might do a shelter in place, and the numbers for the virus are coming out very slowly because we don't have you know as many test kits and stuff like that. So numbers are increasing, and not only that, but the information of what the virus actually is and does, continues to change. Um, on one hand, it's like, oh, 80% of people don't have symptoms, and then, on the other hand, you're like, there's a 29-year-old who's, on the edge of his life. It's like, well, wait a minute, well, what is happening here? I mean, I understand everybody's body is probably going to react to this thing differently, but with the flu, there's, for the most part, guaranteed symptoms, that are easily identifiable and easy to put into perspective. The second major event, obviously, that's going on is the economy keeps falling, and it's becoming increasingly mysterious as well as to what's going to happen there. I mean, there's some emergency measures that are being taken to assure that the economy doesn't, crash, and And we're seeing that, in a very aggressive manner as far as, um, them trying to pass the coronavirus bill very quickly, which of course is going to have earmarks to it and all this other nonsense that, people aren't going to be as concerned about because they want to get, back on their feet, and they don't want, bread lines, obviously, and stuff like that. So, a lot of industries taking a hit. Certainly the travel industry, hotel, all that kind of stuff, hotels, stuff like that. So, there's two really, in my opinion, interesting stories going on at the same time, that I don't want to call them scary at this point, because, no matter what happens, we're going to have to deal with it. So, and that's how I'm going to end it today. Letters from Quarantine. Letter 3. Whatever happens, we're going to have to deal with it. Take care of yourselves, guys.